Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a topic we all instinctively try to avoid: death. But avoiding it? That's actually the biggest mistake. Because facing the end is the only way to truly focus on how you want to spend your limited time right now. Just imagine yourself looking back. What would you wish you'd done differently? We're going to find out. Thanks to Bronnie Ware, a nurse who spent years listening to the deepest deathbed regrets of hundreds of patients. Her findings, shared in her book, The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, are a massive wake-up call. Bronnie writes that if we can face our own inevitable death now with honest acceptance, we automatically shift our priorities well before it's too late. When you know your time is limited, you're less driven by ego or what other people think. Instead, you put your energy into directions of true value. It helps you find your purpose and your niche. The number one regret she heard was, "I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me." Think about that. We are all social creatures. We're hardwired to care about fitting in. But on their deathbeds, people realize they wasted so much energy worrying about others' opinions. They stayed in bad situations, chose careers to impress, and ignored the voice telling them they weren't happy. The secret? Most people are too busy with their own lives to even notice yours. Let go of the need to impress and just start being yourself. The time is now. All right, moving on to the second major regret, and this one hits really close to home for a lot of us. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. This was a common theme among Bronnie's male patients. They regretted prioritizing their career and working long hours over absolutely everything else. She shares a heartbreaking story about a patient who kept putting off retirement, always wanting to save just a bit more. Right before he finally quit, his wife got sick and died. He was left with the money, but totally alone. It's the classic trap. We spend our entire lives planning for this glorious future retirement, depending on some later date for our happiness. But here's the harsh reality. All we ever have is today. Even the lucky ones who get to retirement healthy and wealthy have still traded their best youngest years for their oldest ones. They physically can't do many of the things they spent their youth grinding away to afford. Look, work is important, and finding meaningful work is key. The problem is when work becomes your entire identity and pushes out your friends, family, health, and hobbies. Remember this: no matter how great your colleagues are, they won't be there when you're sick or in your final days. Family is who truly matters. Don't sacrifice those relationships for more stuff you don't need. The third big regret? I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. We build walls because being vulnerable opens us up to being hurt or judged. We do this to avoid the pain that comes with honesty. But the price is living a life where the people closest to you never truly know who you are. Patients often reach the end of their lives feeling like they were never really understood. They felt bitter because they held everything back. As humans, we have a deep need to connect. And research shows that ignoring or hiding emotions doesn't make them go away. It actually makes them stronger, potentially causing mental and physical health issues. Being vulnerable is scary, but it's a massive benefit. People feel closer to us, they trust us more, and they open up in return, creating genuine, stronger connections. If sharing your deepest secret seems like too much right now, start small. Share something easy with a close friend, or just write out those emotions in a private journal. The fourth regret is, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. Tragically, many people in nursing homes are incredibly lonely. We get busy, life happens, and before we know it, those connections go completely cold. On their deathbeds, people suddenly realize they have no one who truly understands their history or can relate to them closely. Bronnie says it best: everyone misses their friends when they're dying. All the money, status, and material things in the world can't make up for a lack of genuine friendship. Studies consistently show that the quality of our social relationships is one of the main things that determines how healthy and happy we are. Loneliness can literally make you sick. Friends make the good times better and the hard times easier. It's much simpler to maintain friendships than to try to restart them once they've faded. Finally, the fifth most common regret: I wish I'd let myself be happier. This is the massive realization that comes too late. Happiness is a choice. We get stuck in familiar habits and negative thinking. We tell ourselves it's okay to be miserable today because we're sacrificing for a better tomorrow. Maybe retirement. Maybe when this or that happens. While working toward goals is important, we have to let ourselves be happy along the way. It's about the journey. Gratitude for every day is the key to enjoying happiness now. The danger of constantly putting it off is that the future might never arrive. Tough times will always be there, even for the luckiest people. But challenging circumstances shouldn't stop you from finding peace and happiness in the present. By studying these 5 most common regrets, we can make changes and avoid living a life we'll regret.